With around 1 million visitors a year, Longleat House and Safari Park is one of Britain's busiest tourist spots. And we're going behind the scenes to find out what goes into keeping it all running 7 days a week.
Have a nice time.
365 days a year.
Welcome to your Longleat Safari bus.
With lions and red pandas, monkeys and mazes, constant cleaning and maintenance, the staff have their work cut out.
Everyone's smiling, everyone's getting ready to go, I think.
That's because the sun's shining.
Yeah.
Now Lord and Lady Bath have granted exclusive and unprecedented access to the running of their stately home, 75 years after it first opened to the public. From the extraordinary, yet everyday,
There's no other loo in the world with this view.
to one-off spectaculars, we bring you a year in the life of a very special home. This time, the park hosts its first Icons of the Sky Festival.
It's amazing to see a Spitfire flying over Longleat.
The hyenas are in need of some help.
The PR on hyenas is awful. I really wanted to make people fall in love with them the same way that we have.
We reveal the remarkable story of how the house became home to a group of schoolgirls in the Second World War.
Some of the girls had snowball fights, but apparently they got into terrible trouble for that and were made to walk up and down the lodge drive twice as punishment.
And the pressure is on for Irish and Ian as they take Lady Bath's Longleat cake test.
One of these is the traditional recipe that we have found in the archive, and one of them is a new, updated, hopefully more delicious version.
Longleat receives thousands of visitors every week.
Thank you very much. All right.
But certain much-loved events really pull in the crowds.
Have a nice time.
It's September, and to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the park's public opening, Longleat is gearing up for one of the biggest events in its history, the first ever Icons of the Sky. It will run for 3 days, and on each day around 100 hot air balloons will take to the skies. Plus there'll be Spitfire flypasts, helicopter displays, and even wing walkers. And the person responsible for making it all happen is the park's project lead, Daisy. And with 4 days to go until liftoff, she's talking Head Ranger Bob through what happens where.
This is where the launch site will be. He's so agile. And this, I think, is going to give it a much better view of where the balloons are. This is the best space on site.
Hot air ballooning at Longleat is a much-loved tradition, going back all the way to 1824, when pioneering balloonist George Graham took off from Sydney Gardens in Bath and landed at Longleat. Various balloon flights followed, and from the early 70s to the 90s, balloon fiestas were a popular sight. But although balloon technology has come on a fair bit since the 1800s, with all sorts of shapes and sizes now possible, there's one thing that today's pilots can't control any better than they could in 1824.
Do you have any predictions on wind direction yet?
No, we're going to currently look at that a little bit closer to the time, because let's be honest,
Which way do we want it to be?
currently it's going every way.
That way?
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah.
Not towards Safari or Salisbury.
Daisy is keeping her fingers crossed the wind won't take the balloons over the safari park. Hot air balloons passing low over the lion enclosure is, for obvious reasons, a definite no-no.
If wind direction goes towards Safari, which would be that direction, we'd either have to call a no-fly, or all of the balloons would have to ascend basically to a certain height to be able to go over the Safari. If it's a little bit of a quicker crosswind, we won't be able to make them fly, because obviously it would be too risky for them being over the animals, so that will be a no-fly.
Fingers crossed the wind plays ball, because around 100 grounded balloons would be a major disappointment. For the next few days, Daisy and Bob will be watching the weather, worrying. The park is home to over 120 species of animals. Over in the carnivore section, the big cats are always the most popular draw. But living just meters away is another animal whose reputation precedes it, just not in a good way.
Scavengers.
Got a mischievous laugh.
They're always the villain in films and wherever they're portrayed.
Yeah. Little vultures, aren't they?
They seem like vicious, angry dogs.
They're scary, like everyone has a bad rap with them, like the Lion King, they're all quite scary.
Meet Ekoma and Nakuru, the park's 2 male hyenas. VIP manager Beth thinks they have a PR problem.
Hello, boys.
So, together with keeper Ian, she's on a mission to try and change people's opinions of these often misunderstood animals.
The PR on hyenas is awful. They are scavengers, but they are also incredible predators. But they get that bad rep because they are portrayed to go out and steal food from the lions, from everything that moves, really. You know, they don't always do the nicest jobs in the wild, but their job in the wild is to clear the ecosystem, is to keep it clean.
The dustbin men of Africa, aren't they? A bit like the vultures. So if there's a dead carcass around, lions will eat most of it, but they'll leave bits and pieces. And then the hyenas will come and clear everything away and get rid of all disease and stuff.
Absolutely.
But they actually hunt and do their own feeding as well, and will
they
take down animals.
Yeah, they're incredible hunters. They're more successful than lions, for sure. But you just don't see that as much.
But how is Beth planning to reverse the reputation of these hyenas?
I really want to do an experience with them, to make people fall in love with them the same way that we have.
Longleat already offers VIP experience packages, where guests can get up close and personal with lots of incredible animals. And Beth wants to create a brand new experience with the hyenas, Ikomo and Nakuru. By helping people get to know them better, Beth thinks the public will come to love the hyenas as much as she does.
Since working here at Longleat, I have fallen in love with hyenas, and now I want to share that love with everybody. I don't want to take anything away from the cheetahs or the lions or the tigers here, because they all deserve the attention, but these guys just aren't getting it, and that's what I want to get across to people, is why why they are so wonderful.
Beth knows what she wants to do. Now she just needs to figure out how to do it. Far from the carnivore enclosure, Daisy's listening out for a completely different type of roar. This year, the Icons of the Sky Festival will feature planes for the first time. As well as Spitfires and pyrotechnic planes, a team of wing walkers will also be showing off their moves. So Daisy's come up to Gloucestershire to talk through plans with Emma and Kirsten.
Hello! Hi!
AKA the Aerobatic Super Wing Walkers.
This is one of the aeroplanes that we have.
Wow. Can I touch it?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's beautiful, but it doesn't feel sturdy.
This is fabric here.
That doesn't feel like something that I'd want to be stood on.
So what's the main quality you need to be a wing walker?
You have to be slightly mad to start?
A little bit.
Just a little bit mad.
Yeah,
just a little bit mad.
You have to really love it to be doing it as long as we have.
I mean, how do you prepare for it? Do you have to be athletic?
Yeah.
So my background's in circus, trapeze, which was really fun, and Emma used to be a dancer.
Oh my God.
But there's a lot of training that's involved as well.
We do a lot of air shows, performing in all sorts of different places. We are very lucky. We just have to sit on the wing and wave.
Oh yeah, just sit there. I don't. Oh well, I think we know you're not just sitting there.
I think we've got the easier job in that sense, actually.
Top speed in our display is 165 miles an hour for us. And that's when we're diving in for the loop, which is really fun.
What will happen if it rains?
Oh, if it rains, we will still perform. So climb on up.
Having learnt a bit about wing walking, Daisy can't resist the opportunity to sort of try it out for herself.
So one leg goes over there.
Right.
Like this. Yeah, with this hand here, just going to put forward like that. So this is what we do when we are passing the crowd.
This move makes you feel like you're a superhero.
Now imagine doing this at over 100 miles an hour and a few thousand feet up in the air.
What you girls do is amazing. So you're a little bit insane. Just a little bit. Just a little bit insane.
Thank you for having us at Longleat.
Coming up,
We're hopefully well protected.
Dr. Tom comes face to face with a wolf pack. And the balloons and crowd begin to gather for Icons of the Sky. But the forecast leaves Daisy feeling under the weather.
Currently, we are on a 50-50, which is gutting.
The Icons of the Sky Festival is fast approaching with its balloon, plane and helicopter extravaganza. And each of the 3 days will end with a spectacular and loud fireworks display. But as any of the 20 million UK pet owners will tell you, sudden loud noises, especially fireworks, can cause some animals distress. No matter what's happening at the park, the welfare of its animals always comes first. So, Conservation Research Manager Dr. Tom will be monitoring certain species before, during and after the fireworks to make sure they're not adversely affected. With their sensitive hearing, dogs can be particularly susceptible to noise. But with no domestic dogs at the park, Dr. Tom is monitoring the closest available alternative.
So we are just about to go and install a camera trap so we can try and monitor the wolves in parts of the wolf reserve where we can't really see from our kind of viewpoint.
Dr. Tom and his team are using a combination of night vision cameras and tools called ethograms to monitor the animal's behaviour.
In this area, we're going to have someone, another keeper, come and guard us, just so the wolves won't come near us. So and if they do, they can kind of warn us, and we can get back in the car.
Wolves aren't known as being particularly aggressive to humans, but nevertheless they are intelligent and opportunistic. And although extremely rare, attacks on humans have occurred. So, as with any wild animal, it's never worth taking unnecessary risks.
We're hopefully well protected.
Dr. Tom is hoping that by using the camera footage and ethogram data, he'll be able to see what the animal's usual behaviour is like, and if anything like fireworks causes them to act differently or become distressed.
So the camera we're going to be using is a night vision camera, so it can pick up activity daytime and nighttime. There's always a bit of excitement when you get out in an animal enclosure, even if it's just the camels and stuff. But yeah, here is a little bit different. Right, okay, so that's looking that way. So it's looking back across the reserve into the area where the wolves are sat now, and that's the area they kind of like to hang out. So if they're up here when we're doing the ethograms, this will catch it when we can't see them down there. Yeah, very good.
Dr. Tom's team will also be monitoring the red pandas, as their enclosure is closest to where the fireworks will be exploding. With the camera set, the team are ready to see how the animals will react to loud noises. It's just after dawn on Saturday, and Icons of the Sky has arrived.
How are we?
And amazingly, after all Daisy's weather worries, the winds are light and the balloons can take off.
Yes! It is the day, it's the first full event day, the sun is shining, the skies are blue. This is literally all you can ask for with a balloon event, which is good weather. And look at this!
Around 100 balloons are taking part in the festival. And over in another field...
Yeah, this looks a good spot for us this morning.
One of them is being prepared for launch. Pilot Gary Davis and his sister Alex are heading out for what they call a short hop.
Yeah, that's it.
Needed a bit of weight on it, Gary.
Needed a bit of beef on that. Pull out, right, go on, pull it.
Although the winds are light enough to fly, they're still blowing towards the safari and are predicted to get stronger as the morning goes on. So the balloon marshals have ruled that the balloons mustn't go too high and be back on the ground before the winds can whisk them away.
Now all ready, we've done all our final checks and we're now ready for takeoff. Okay. Set your away. See you in a bit. Yeah, we're just getting, you know, the low-level winds. It's a bit variable in this bowl here. But the plan is just to sort of keep us up as long as we can so we can keep into the estate. We don't have any control generally with direction. The only control you have is up and down. So we're just going to brush over these trees here.
Looks like you need a bit more up, Gary.
There you go, look at that. Amazing.
And having to fly low means they can appreciate the splendour of the park even more.
Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. It's just an iconic building as well.
Being able to fly round the stately homes, it's a privilege. You don't often get to do it. Why would you not? Why would you not want to?
Whilst Gary flies, Alex is reading up on the very specific emergency procedures.
So, if you happen to accidentally have to land in the Lions in an emergency situation, remain in your basket, because the Lions like a hamper.
Jokes aside, health and safety is paramount. So after their short hop, it's soon time to land.
Yeah, we're going to land in this bit here. We're just going to play it very safe. Go over this.
Not close enough, eh?
Longleat is just fantastic. It's one of our best UK events. The weather's been kind to us, and you know, everybody gets together and has some fun.
With their morning flight finished, Gary and Alex are off to get some breakfast and get a prime spot for the upcoming aeroplane displays.
Fantastic.
Short but sweet.
VIP manager Beth is out to change the perceptions of hyenas. She's decided that creating a hyena VIP experience is the best way to do this, so that people can get closer to these successful predators and learn more about them. Today, she's planning the new hyena experience with carnivore keeper Ryan.
Right, we'll try not to spill any of this in your nice clean truck.
They need to test if the shy hyenas, who usually eat their food out of sight in their den, will come close enough to the fence to make a visitor experience possible.
It's a privilege to spend these mornings with the animals, driving into the reserves. It's one of the best feelings.
Yeah.
Everyone's smiling, everyone's getting ready to go, I think.
That's because the sun's shining.
Yeah.
Usually the shy hyena's food is left for them out of sight, so they can eat it at their leisure and in private.
Good morning, boys.
Beth and Ryan need to test if the hyenas will come and collect the meat that's thrown for them close to the fence. If they don't, Beth's idea for an up-and-close personal experience with the animals will be over before it's even begun.
I reckon just about here.
Yeah.
Come on then, buddy.
Oh,
right there.
Nearly on his head.
I don't think he realised that one.
I don't think he did.
Oh.
Initially, it seems the hyenas might be too shy to come close.
Give it time.
But Beth and Ryan are nothing if not persistent.
One more.
Finally, their efforts pay off.
It works. Oh, there we go. That's woken him up. Oh, amazing. Look how close they are. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, this is amazing.
It's all going well until someone gets a bit too excited.
Oh, yeah, no way.
That was a really bad throw, Ryan.
I reckon just give it a shake.
Oh, well done.
And we've got it out. This is awesome. We're throwing the chunks over. They're foraging for the chunks.
You're seeing two different behaviours at play as well. You are seeing the Kuma is the more confident one who is coming in first. So he, you know, in the wild, he'd be the one taking on these lions.
100%.
And Nakuru, I reckon he'd be your one who come in sneakily afterwards, just get the scraps at the end.
Nakuru, he's very calculated. He understands what's going on
He
better than
watches
Akuma.
it, yeah.
But what I think will be amazing is for the guests to see that they have their own characters and
Oh, yeah.
personalities, and hopefully that will help break down the negative connotations that these guys have.
With the meet a success, Beth and Ryan are super happy with Ikoma and Nakuru's reaction.
Test run complete.
Yes.
And now we just need to bring the guests.
Bring some guests up. Nice.
Still to come, has Head Ranger Bob met his match?
I've done it long enough to know I can't really compete against a, 60-foot Rupert the Bear?
Lord Bath has the best seat in the house as the planes take to the sky.
So it's amazing to see a Spitfire flying over Longleat.
This is my granny Heather sitting on the end here.
And staff member Roz recalls her granny's Longleat adventures as a World War II evacuee. With the sun shining, visitors are now pouring into the park, which is great news for Daisy.
Finally, I'm feeling a bit more relaxed that the sky is blue. The crowd are cheering. Yeah, this is feeling good now.
But things aren't quite so good for Head Ranger and parking pro Bob.
So you can see the way the traffic's just slowing down, just where Rupert is getting inflated. But then I've done it long enough to know I can't really compete against a, 60-foot Rupert the Bear. Even I would stop to look at that, to be fair. Ranger one,
On a day like today, the park can welcome up to 4,000 vehicles. And Bob usually has things under control. But today is proving a bit more of a challenge.
As you can see here, we've got a bit of traffic. But as you can see, because they've got the balloons, some of them will stop, start taking photos, things like that. So we've got to try to get them to keep rolling, and not actually come to a full stop until they get to that car park over there.
Back at the entrance, the queue of cars is mounting. Bob and his team need to keep things flowing.
This is my 21st season. So I've been pretty much done traffic manager for 20 of them.
With so many people arriving at once, Bob needs a bit of help to keep things moving.
Pretty much got the full-on team. So at the moment, I'm probably got about 22 people on the ground. But they're also doing the bins, the toilets, 3 Ts, toilets, trash, and traffic. You see, look at Josh's skills there. That took 8 years to learn that. And then we've got Brian there. He's not doing a lot at the moment, but he is outstanding in his field.
Soon, Bob and the team get traffic flowing again.
Receiving, can I send cars on again?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. I reckon you could send at least 50.
Bob and his team have got everyone parked just in time for the beginning of the spectacular air display. There are formation flypasts from the much-loved Tiger Moth biplane. Gazelle helicopters show what they can do. Father and son team, Tim and Tom Dews, fly loop-the-loops in their Grob 109B motor gliders.
Into a beautiful formation loop.
And of course, wing walkers Emma and Kirsten wow the crowds with their incredible acrobatic moves.
Now, smoke on and diving down to 3 at 140 miles an hour.
High up on the roof of the house, Lord Bath is taking it all in. And there's one plane in particular he's been looking forward to seeing.
Who doesn't love a Spitfire? It's amazing to see a Spitfire flying over Longleat, particularly as they were built just down the road.
Over 80 years before today's display, the park is thought to have seen Spitfires before. During World War II, witnesses describe seeing a dogfight, probably involving Spitfires, in the skies above Longleat, and the eventual demise of a German plane. In fact, the park is inextricably linked with both world wars. During the First World War, over 2,000 soldiers were treated here in a makeshift hospital. Ground floor rooms like the saloon and the state dining room were used as wards, with the Lord's bedroom turned into an operating theatre. The heir to Longleat at the time was John Alexander Thynne, the current Lord Bath's great-uncle. He went off to fight in France and was tragically killed in 1916, aged just 20. More on him later. Many men from the estate went to fight in the Great War, including John Hales, grandfather of longtime staff member and estate surveyor Tim Bentley. John's picture can be seen in one of the permanent exhibitions on site.
There's a photograph of my grandfather with the team of gamekeepers in 1919. So there he is, there's the one on the end, with the Charlie Chaplin moustache, as it was in them days. He went off to the First World War. Had a tough time, but survived. So this is not that long after he came back to work at Longleat, and I've got a photograph of him taken only about 2 years before, and you just would not think it's the same person. But it's quite clear to see in the two pictures how much he'd aged in that time. I mean, it's like more like a 59-year-old than a 29-year-old. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. It's stupid. I didn't think I would. It's funny.
Over 100 years later, the experience of those who fought in the trenches and the horrors they must have gone through still evokes great emotion. Happily, Tim's grandfather was able to rebuild his life after the war.
Walk back to the peaceful lanes and woodlands of Longleat, back to his life as a gamekeeper. To go on, have 9 healthy children that lived, they went on to live long lives. Thank you, Grandad. Yeah, we'll keep Longleat going. It'll still be here in another 100 years' time.
Just 20 years after Tim's grandfather came home, the world was at war again. And once again, the estate played an important role. It was the site of numerous RAF storage depots and an American military hospital for 750 injured soldiers. Longleat also housed a school for daughters of officers of the army, where another staff member, Ros Hallam's grandmother, was a pupil.
This is the view that my granny would have had from her dormitory window. This is my granny Heather sitting on the end here. She was a schoolgirl from the Royal School in Bath, and they were evacuated to Longleat during the Second World War. It is amazing to think that Granny actually got to live here, but I think while it seems immensely grand living in a stately home, I think conditions were fairly harsh, obviously during the war, so there wasn't much in the way of heating, rationing, so the food was fairly slim pickings, I think.
Heather was a prolific writer, and some of her letters home give a real sense of life on the estate.
So they had a particularly cold winter here where the half-mile pond froze over completely and the girls actually went ice skating on the lake. Some of the girls had snowball fights and would make snowmen, but apparently they got into terrible trouble for that and were put on what she calls a criminal list and were made to walk up and down the lodge drive twice as punishment, which seems a little unfair. It's a long drive.
Down in the cellar of the house, it's easy to imagine the mix of excitement and fear the girls would have felt when the first air raid sirens went off.
We have had our first air raid warning in the school this week. They sent us down to the underground, where we remained for 4 hours. It was a most extraordinary sight to see the whole school sitting or reclining on camp stools with capes over them trying to get comfortable. In the end, there proved to be some extra stools, and Betty Blunt and I got 5 between us and were quite comfortable. I got to sleep quite quickly when we got back to bed, and we had breakfast half an hour later than usual. So, as a 17-year-old girl, obviously very worried about her comfort and her breakfast, which is fair. I think I'd be the same.
Thanks to Heather's letters, another part of the estate's history has been preserved. Coming up,
I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting them to be this calm.
Beth and Ryan test out their hyena experience on some willing guinea pigs. The pressure is on for staff members Irish and Ian as they take Lady Bath's Longleat cake test.
One of these is the traditional recipe that we have found in the archive, and one of them is a new, updated, hopefully more delicious version.
And how will the park's animals fare when Icons of the Sky goes out with a bang? Having established the hyenas will come close to the fence for food, Beth and Ryan have one more thing to do before they can launch the new hyena experience. Estate employees Amy, Andy and Lauren have been asked to swap the office for the outdoors to test the new setup.
So it's going to be a bit of a different change of scenery for you all, which is really exciting.
If it goes well, the tour can be launched on the public.
Cool, right, let's go.
You all comfy?
Beth, I'll meet you there.
If it doesn't, it's back to the drawing board.
I'm looking forward to the hyenas. I don't really know too much about them. They make me a bit nervous.
Yeah, I've been here nearly 15 years and I've always wanted to see something like this, so getting a chance to do it and being some of the first people to do it is really, really cool.
Let's go see some animals.
So guys, what's your first impressions being this close to our hyenas?
Already different.
Really?
Yeah, not what I was expecting. They're softer.
Yeah.
You can see like their faces are not
That's me.
angry.
Yeah.
Not,
yeah, exactly. This is perfect.
and the
That's
eyes.
exactly what I wanted.
They've got really cool eyes.
Yeah.
They just seem really chilled out.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting them to be this calm. And seeing them up close, like, they're really cute.
Yeah, they are.
So far, so good. But Wilikoma and Nakuru respond to being fed in the same way when more people are present.
Well done, boys.
Go on, boys.
Well done, Nakuru.
They're taking it in turns.
They're good together, aren't they? I wasn't expecting that. When it comes to feed, I was expecting it to just be most powerful gets it.
So there we go. That's got to be the closest any non-keeper has got to the hyenas, I reckon.
They're not fazed by us really at all either, and their little faces are so cute. I never thought I'd say hyena is cute, but I'm gonna say that now.
I'll definitely slow down next time and tell other people to do the same as well, because they are cool. Opinion changed.
Yeah.
Success. It looks like getting really close to the hyenas has had the desired effect, although Amy isn't ready for a cuddle just yet.
I'm glad we're on this side of the fence, so I'll say that.
There's just enough time for photos with the stars of the show before it's time to head back. It's job done for Beth and Ryan as Ikoma and Nakuru have won their visitors over and challenged those negative perceptions.
Let's go.
Hopefully, it won't be long before the public get the chance to know these amazing animals a bit better. The heritage of Longleat is everywhere you look. Grand buildings, world-famous gardens, incredible decor.
Come on into the next room.
But who'd have thought cake would feature on that list? But this fruity number, often enjoyed with a slice of cheese by the 5th Marquis, is indeed a much-loved tradition. Recently, however, it has fallen a little out of fashion. To celebrate the 75th anniversary of the house opening to the public, the current Marchioness of Bath has decided to update the recipe and put it back on sale.
So the Longleat cake, as you know very well, is part of our history here that's been around for centuries and centuries, and we're bringing it back.
The oldest surviving recipe dates back to 1878, and the cake is very much a part of the estate's history.
I love the fact that, you know, it has such references to the history of the house, all the way back to the 19th century with its original sort of appearance in our archive. For, like, in the war as well, when the 9th Viscount Weymouth asked for it, he wrote home and asked for it.
The 9th Viscount Weymouth, the current Lord Bath's great-uncle, was killed on active service during World War I. The letter he wrote home asking for Longleat cake to be sent to the front still survives in the archives and adds another layer of history to a constantly evolving recipe.
It's popped up over the centuries, literally, and I love that tradition, and I love that we can have it now today.
Lady Bath has commissioned a new cake, which will be placed in the estate's accommodation and shops, but she wants Irish and Ian to taste test the old version against the new one. It's tough working at Longleat.
One of these is the traditional recipe that we have found in the archive, and one of them is a new, updated, hopefully more delicious version.
Irish is in charge of guest accommodation and will be putting the chosen cake in welcome hampers.
What do you think of the cake?
I'm so excited for the new version.
I love you. I love your enthusiasm for cake. I'm obsessed with the cake.
Always.
Ian's tasting credentials are somewhat less obvious.
Hello, and you just get cake because we love you.
Yeah.
You're just a Longleat legend. You get all the cake. Have you had it before?
No, never.
Oh my goodness.
So this will be complete new for me.
Seems like reason enough to be here.
Well, you can go first. Guest of honour.
So, have a piece each?
Sure.
Thank you.
It's like a party.
First up, cake A.
This one.
Is that all right?
It tastes really nice.
Be honest.
Quite nice bits of fruit in it.
Yeah.
I quite like it. It's quite dense. And it's got quite a lot of fruit in it. So the fruit almost brings the sweetness to the cake. So I quite like that.
Nice bits of fruit in it though, nice and soft. It's not claggy. It's not, it's not sticking in your mouth.
No, it doesn't clump together.
I could eat 3 or 4 more for sure.
Well, you can.
So cake A is a hit. How will cake B compare?
Well, you can feel the difference.
Yeah.
It's a bit more.
And the fruit has not spread throughout.
No, it's all the way to the top.
A bit more soggy.
So different, no?
Mm-hmm.
Tastes all right.
It's a bit more, I want to say eggy.
Yeah.
Got some nice crunchy bits on it though, on the outside. They're quite nice. It just feels a bit. I could eat loads of it, but
still cake.
I definitely prefer that one. That's like you said. That's more of a.
It's balanced, isn't it?
A Christmassy cake.
Yeah.
It's got a nice flavour.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is quite pleasant, but it's quite soggy.
No, I think I agree with you there, Ian. Like that's the one. The spices are all balanced, and it does. You bite into it, and it's Christmas.
So Irish and Ian have both gone for cake A, but have they chosen wisely?
All we've got to hope now is that we're still in the job tomorrow.
Yeah.
With more on the line than they first thought, it's time for the moment of truth.
Well, that is the new one.
That's the new one.
Emma's Kitchen
Cool.
version.
That's good then.
That is as close as we think we can get it to what they used to make.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think our taste buds are different now.
Yes.
I'm sure that was delicious in the 19th century. Maybe we can just tweak it slightly.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, it's tweaked good.
Your own twist on it.
Thank goodness you like it. Can you imagine? Back to the drawing board. Or just serve the original, I don't know.
It's a relief all round as the new recipe wins out. And with the staff seal of approval, it won't be long before Longleat cake is back on the menu and a new chapter in its history has begun. An action-packed day is coming to a close. With the darkness of night comes one final opportunity to wow the crowds, and for the icons of the sky to really shine.
So we've currently got our pyroplanes in the sky.
And even the event organizer is struggling to believe what she's seeing.
Currently amazing everyone with the most ridiculous aerobatics in planes, with fireworks strapped to their wings. Not something I would do. And now they're upside down. Wow. But yeah, just when they start to fly away, it means we're on the big countdown for the night glow, for the fireworks.
As As hundreds of gas jets and fireworks light up the sky, over in Wolf Wood, the wolves being monitored are showing no signs of any distress or abnormal behaviour. And over in the walking safari, the red panda's behaviour is completely normal too. It's great news. The show can go on. Only minutes after the last firework fades, the crowds vanish.
Events 1 to events 3. I can confirm that is sight clear.
Wunderbar! And Daisy's left to reflect on yet another incredible event.
We did it! The balloons went up, the plane stayed in the sky, and the fireworks went bang. Right, go and warm up now. Thank you so much.
Being the pro she is, Daisy's always thirsty for knowledge.
Today, I learnt that when you go up in a flight and land safely, you're supposed to, as a tradition, have a glass of champagne. So, what better way to wrap this event than everyone to have of champagne? Yeah.
Next time on 75 Years at Longleat, Lady Bath introduces us to her favourite animals.
So adorable.
We reveal how Lord Bath's corgi sparked a lifelong love affair for Elizabeth II. It's 60 years since Longleat Railway started. We meet the train drivers and their biggest fans.
So feel a bit mean sometimes when they think we're going to feed them, and all we've got is a pair of spanners, no fish.
And how will the house cleaning team clean a 56-foot high chandelier?
It's a little bit of a heart in your throat moment.